Hey, this is a brand new video, but we're doing the 30 minutes of reading today. But we're continuing Ghosts of Heavens. But make sure you just like and subscribe. And yo, let's start the clock right here. So we're gonna start the clock. 30 minutes starting now. Alright. I hope you guys enjoying the reading series, but let's get into it. Chapter 11. Hurry, say the old man, and they get to their feet. He leads the way along the shelf, wide enough not to fear falling, uneven enough to make them going slow, but he will not go slowly, because the sun won't wait for them. The boy is lagging, her feet are dragging. The way has been long, and the man, though old, is strong. He has surprised them both with their strength, and they hurry to keep up. Throughout the skinny trees that dare to grow on the cliff side, then they are at the cave. He who makes the mark stops and he looks for the first time. He looks at her. Fire, he says, and with a beautiful relief, she slips the basket from her back. Fire, she has brought 2 torches, each a half of good, strong wood, wound around at the end with a resin-soaked hair. She bends the work fast, taking the fire sticks, spinning one on the other by means of a bow, a miniature version of the thing on her back, but with a looser string. A string that winds around the stick. So they're working the bow, the stick spins. She's done it 1,000 times before, spinning the first stick. It's in the hole she made on the flat of the second, till smoke comes and then flame 1,000 times. Yet it's only now that she sees something. She sees how the string of the bow winds rounds the spinning stake, and suddenly she thinks of the snail, then the falcon, then the fronds of the ferns. He who goes to the cave shouts at her. She sees she has made a flame and not even known it, because her eyes are full of the string of the bow. From the spinning, fire has come, and she touches the end of the torch to the flame, hands it to the old man, who turns and goes to the cave. Come, he shouts over his shoulder, and the boy follows. She watches them go, and she slides the basket back onto her back, and she follows too, clambering over rocks and through brush into the mouth of the cave. Desperate to what she has always wanted to see, so desperate she doesn't heed to the warning that her nose is giving her the faintest hint of a smell. Chapter 12. There, just inside the mouth, hands, dozens of them, red hand in negative. The ancestors of people, each hand made by one who goes to the cave, made before he goes to work. The old man beckons. Let me see how you say this word. Beckons? How do you say this word? Beckons? We got to do this every time. If we don't know a word, we got to do the Kai Cenat method. Yo. Beckon. Okay, beckon. So I must have said it. Okay, beckons to the boys, points at her. But before she could get to the reeds and the red, the darkness erupts with a roar. It happens so fast at first, she doesn't know what it is. A shape flies at them. Before the shape lands, the boy is dead. Damn, his head hangs by a cord from his shoulders, stripped by a giant paw, a cave lion. It lands at the boy's body, pumps blood across the cave's mouth. The lion roars. She stands frozen, her eyes on the boy, and she remembers how he came from the belly of the woman that she came from. In another eye blink, the beast turns, ready to run at them. It does, but the old man is quicker. Then the dead boy leaps to the one side. Not fast enough. The lion catches him with a claw, and he collapses on the rock, screaming. He riches. Riches. Let me see how to say this word. I don't know how to say this. Riches on. Let's see how to say this word. Riches. Definition. Rife. Rife on the floor. He writhes on the floor, blood pouring from between his fingers, pushing from long wounds in his side. She scrambles from the cave. The lion sees her and leaves the old man to his pain. It takes 2 steps and she turns in time to see it leap. But she is fast and her fingers have fitted an arrow to her bowstring. As the lion leaps, she pulls back the string wildly without aim. Then the arrow flies, and it is lucky that it takes it to it. Bro, like it is luck that takes it to its target. The lion doesn't know it. The arrow sticks from its mouth and penetrates its brain, but it rushes at her, knocking her down. She falls to the ground, and there is no pain, only the time in which it saves herself. She pulls around another arrow from the basket, and the lion turns and stumbles towards her. It closes the jaw. The arrow is broken. The shaft clangs on its mouth, stuck in its teeth, but it makes another leap. She fumbles to the feet the second arrow, and this time she is not fast enough. The beast is on her, but with a wild pain, brain controlling its body, it paws at her without control, and so it is that without control, the beast and the girl tumble away over the edge of the shelf of the cliff into the dark. Awaiting grain. Chapter 13. On the lake, the paddles dip, the boats draw near to the shore. It has been a long night, but now dawn is coming, and he who leads the hunt calls softly across the water to the boats behind. Paddles dip faster, eager now to be done with the water, eager to be at the beast, to see them run, to hear them stampede, to watch them fall under the spears. He who leads the hunt leaps silently, landing in the shallow water by the shore, and he who pulls the prows of the boat onto the shrine. Let me see how to say this word. Dude. We're improving our vocabulary today. Shingle. Onto the shingle, he looks up at the high cliff where the sun will soon strike, and he hopes that he goes to the cave is working. He hopes the cave is working hard in the powerful darkness, making the magic that must be made. Chapter 14. She hangs just over the lip of the cliff, strangled, suspensed by the cords of the basket, caught on a branch of a high, clinging tree. She cliffs, wrestles, fights, her arms pulled above her head by the cords, and all she does is make everything in the basket tumble to the floor below. Somewhere down there lies the lion, its body broken across a rock on the forest floor, and the end of an arrow stuck in the roof of its mouth. She hangs in the air, and light begins to seep across the valley as she twists. The black lake turns gray, then silver, then orange, and sunlight finds her face. She hangs. Chapter 15. Dots are in her head, dots that collide. She feels as if she is spinning. The boy is dead, his head taken and his blood spilled. The old man's blood flowed too. Then the lion is leaking onto leaves below, but not hers. Not yet, though she knows it will if she falls. Then she will be eaten by birds if she does not. Her strength is leaving her. She twists, looking at the cliff, looking up, looking down, and she knows that it's her chance to climb down the tree that saved her. But she needs to be free of the branch. She handles for a moment more and thinks. Then she sees that with one heave, she could lift herself out of the strap. She waits, then she pulls hard, lifts herself up. Her feet has found a branch. She pushes and slides her shoulders out of the cord. The tree sways, her head sways with it, and she looks down at the drop and wants to be sick. She waits, then hands over one branch at a time. She hangs to descend the trunk at the light. As the light grows harder with every passing beat of her heart, the softness of dawn is lifting. Dawn she climbs. As she goes, the way becomes harder. The branches are bigger but far apart. But now that she knows she is not going to die, she moves faster, finally jumps to the forest floor, where she lands by the lion, who is still but still warm. Heat comes from its body, and flies are already dancing on its wounds. She looks at it and sees the blood on the claw that took the head from the boy, who comes from this same belly as her. She turns, blood runs from cuts on her back. The inside of her thigh is badly bruised. The skin of her breast is grazed. The trees are spars. Like, we need to learn how to say this word. Spars. How do I say this word? How do we say this word? It's 4 o'clock. How do we say what this word?
Sparse.
Sparse. Okay, sparse. The trees are sparse on its shelf of the cliff, a narrow shelf like the wider one above. It runs away to nothing. It runs away to nothing to her left. To her right, it slopes up and widens out. With a fewer trees, she could see across the whole valley. And though she is lower than before, she sees the sun striking the plains. She sees tiny black dots, boats touching the shore. The people have landed, and there's no magic. Chapter 16. The softness of dawn is leaving, and she panics. No magic. No hunt could prosper without magic. He looks up at the cliff down which she has left, half climbed. There is no way back, but maybe the slope on which she stands finds its way back to the higher shelf. Maybe the old man is dead and the boy is dead, but she can make the magic. If only she could find the cave again. She scrambles in the scrubby grass at her feet. Hunting, she pushes plants aside and grows desperate. Then she finds them, the things from the basket, the red orchard wrapped in leaves, the reeds, the second torch, the fire sticks, and the bow charcoal. She gathers them together and makes a bundle, which she binds with summer dried grass and hurries up the slope, hoping to make her way to the cave. Ferns, fawns, and snails crush under her feet as she steps, one eye on the path ahead and one eye on the sunlit valley. She must find the cave and make magic soon, and she knows what to do, but she must find the cave first. And then, as the shelf narrows, then turns a twist as it runs around the cliff face, and she comes to a corner, and her heart leaps. A cave, not the cave, but another, which just like her own looks across the water. She looks ahead. The shelf shows no sign of meeting the higher one. It starts to lead down the cliff, but here is a cave from which she can see the people on the plain. She can see a long grass where the dawn deer will be grazing, and here is a cave. Something calls to her from inside. Deep in the dark, something waits for her. Come, it says, come and understand. She bends and makes fire. Chapter 17. As she crosses the threshold, a thought: she must make the mark. She must make the red hand on the wall, the red hand to make her part of the cave, or the magic will not work. She leads the torch against a rock, and by it glows. She chooses a smooth face on which to work. and she works quickly, and freshly sharpened flint knife takes the end off a reed. It is dark and hollow. She pushes its end into the reed, and the red archer. She places her hand against the smooth rock wall, presses hard, then the reed to her lips. She blows. The red powder sprays perfectly, a strong, narrow blast that sticks to the wetness of the wall, absorbed by the moon milk there, the soft white wetness that seeps from the rock. Her heart beats. She has covered only one finger and her thumb. She bends to the powder, refills the reed, puts it on her lips, and blows. Two more fingers. Good. And she bends it, and she bends, and when she blows this time, her hand is done. She steps away, and she made the mark. She's part of the cave. She hurries. A mark is not enough. She must make magic. She must make the deer as they are hunted. And she knows the hunting will begin very soon. But for the magic to work, she must be in darkness. The dark light of the cave mouth is not enough. She takes the torch back from the rock and walks into the blackness. And she climbs over the borders. And she slides into a wet mud and turns to look behind her. Every once in a while, to look how small the cave mouth has become, she grows aware that something is waiting for her in the heart of the cave. She can feel it. She can almost hear it. But she pushes it away because she needs to make magic. The light from the world outside has gone. She has come far. And now she's in a place that connects to the magic. This place the teller tells has spoken of. The place that connects this world and others. Where words are not enough to say anything. Where only action can speak. Ooh. Where magic made on the walls makes up meaning in the world. She finds a place to plant her torch. As long as I read, takes charcoal from her bundle, and all she has is two thick sticks, but that is more than she will need. She chooses a rock. She likes it. It budges, and in that bulge, she sees the curve of a stage back. It was made for the magic, and she places the tip of her charcoal on the rock. Her first mark is good, and her first mark is so good she can already see this stag on the wall. And before she even made it, she had made it back, but her line is light. She makes it again and makes it hard. She makes it fast, and she makes it bold. And the back is done, and the tube is good. Then a sweep of the neck, and it turn a light. Then there's the head, erect and proud, held up just as it will be. When the spear strikes, good. Now she makes the antlers like branches growl from the head, and strong, fierce, and she does them well. The beast is almost alive in the rock. She moves to the foreleg, and her marks are power. The lines are strong, full of magic. Then she notices something she had not seen before, a mark on the wall that was already there. A mark that frightens her. Her heart pounds, and she grabs the torch. She spins around. She cries as if someone is there. She's alone, but there's still the mark on the wall. She takes the torch closer, and now the grass hands a negative print of the wall, a black hand. Now the torch is a black man. Not messing with you. Now the torch is closer, and now she can see that the hand is not alone. There is another and another. Her breathing comes faster, and she goes farther along the wall, and the wall is covered with black hands until the red hands with their mark inside their hands are empty, just a black powder outline. And now she looks again, and she knows why the hands scare her. They have fingers missing and all have thumbs, but there is one with a half finger gone. There is one with two fingers missing. She looks at them all. each missing at least one finger. Ugh. Some have two stumps, some have three, and here's one with stumps for all four fingers. She doesn't understand. She doesn't know what it means. She knows who made them, but she sees something is wrong. She runs back to the light, dropping the torch as she approaches the world. She runs to the edge of the cliff shelf, and and there is a lake, and there she could see the people who have left their boats, and there she sees others and other boats heading for the far lake shore, and in there other people she runs. Now across the lake the people hunt. They have allowed themselves to judge the wind on which the scent will carry. They have allowed themselves to grow into the grass, and for the sun to move so their shadows do not show. He who leads the hunt lies in the grass, his spear light in one hand, his spear thrower loose in the other. He crawls, stops, waits, listens, then crawls again. The people who move behind him, it takes an age to move like this, but the rewards will be greater. Then through the people who have made no sound, cast no shadow, and been careful with their scent, there is no stampede. The deer run, the great uncountable, many of them all run at once. He who leads the hunt leaps to his feet and cries out. He sees the deer running, terrified, bolting away, and he turns to see what has caused this chaos. And he turns, a spear lands in his chest. He clutches it as if he needs it, and gives a small cry, falling to his knees and to his side, where he lies in the grass, panting fast, with wide eyes. The people who are near need to scatter in fear. Then the others are on them without warning. They have spears, no bows, but they do not need them. They throw hard and well, and the people are taken with barely a sound, and spears land again and again, thrown hard and well, despite the fact that the throwers have parts of their fingers missing. One of these others leads the rest. He has 4 stumps where his full fingers should be, but his aim is true. He pulls the spear from a woman on the ground and stabs her in the face to finish her. Chapter 19. From the cave of the black hands down the widening shelf, she runs on a turn into the shelf. She glances at the water, and she plains at her heart runs loose and free. She stops at the sight. For her very good eyes, she could see the people die. Horror holds her for a moment. Then she runs what she must do. She runs to camp. She runs, and her guess is a good one. For soon the shelf reaches the forest floor, with the lake shore close through the trees, and she knows the way back to camp, but she must hurry. The way is long, through easier by light. She thinks about the dead boy, the dead old man. She thinks about the people who went across the water, and those who stayed at camp. It is them that she must warn. And sooner she hopes camp comes towards her through the trees, and it's empty, no one is there, and she remembers that they will have gone to find food, even the very young, even the babies carried at their mother's neck. She staggers across the smothering fire. Twice she runs. It is desperation, and something is screaming at her from deep inside. But still it will not be heard. Should she look? Should she wait? Should she hunt for them, or wait for their return? She stands silently now in the dawn, for her chest heaves, as not from the running, but from fear. She stares at the soft, sandy earth beside the fire. She stares at it. Seeing the end of the stick makes it mark. She wonders, she begins to dream. Then a crack, a voice, a stick breaking at the summer dried floor, and a voice, but not a voice she knows. She hides, she slips from the camp and choosing an easy tree, she climbs out of sight. Chapter 20. They come, not the people, the others. They come through the trees, not from the lake, but along the shore, and she knows there are more. And the ones who killed her people on the plains, they sound different from her people, but she sees them. They sound different. When she sees them, they look different. They walk differently. They wear different furs. Naked, she clinches to her treetop, and with horror, she waits as two stop beneath her tree. They smell different. She is clever enough to know that she might smell different to them. So she shivers in the high, wavering tree. So they pour into the camp and are proud. They touch nothing. They merely look silently, holding their spears lightly. She wonders, why don't they take the food that's there, the furs and the tools, and then she knows they want to kill. Then the people return. She hears their sound coming through the forest. They are singing. They are singing the sounds of the hunt. The sounds of They are singing the songs of the hunt magic. No, she thinks, do not sing, but they sing as they come back to camp. The others have heard them too. They steal away, hide in the green, and even though she saw where they went, they are invisible now. Even the two others who stood at her tree, and she can no longer see, but she knows they are there from the smell. Chapter 21. This is the moment. This is the moment when she fails, and as the people come back, she stares down from the tree. All she could do, all she can see is sand by the fire, and her stick tip touching the sun-dried earth. So easy to make a mark. And as people come back, the others slide from the green, and she throws spears with barely a sound, and the last of the people begin to die. She doesn't help them. She would only help them die. There's horror mounting in her throat and her belly as she realizes that the two are gone from under her tree. She leaps to the ground, ready to run. She takes a small look through the leaves to the fire pit where blood is welling to the sand, blood from the body of the woman. The woman is still just one along all who died that day, but she looks through the leaves at the killing of the dead. The woman puts picture in her head of it was what it was to be young, before the bleeding, before the drawing, before the talking, what it was to be young and to be held in the arms of the woman from whose belly she came. She watches her bleed in the sand. They are all dead or dying soon. No one is left, not the young or the weak. She turns and runs all through the trees and green leaves and blades of grass, where tiny snails spin spirals around themselves as if they know a secret. Chapter 22. The last people runs blindly. She runs, and it is at the water, and she sees boats arriving from the lake shore. Her hopes are dashed before they can even rise because the boats are not hers. More of the others come back from the killing on the plains. She turns and runs through the trees and still running blind, and then she hears a shout despite her sense. She looks back. Two of them have seen her. The two from her tree. One points, they sprint, she bolts, but the legs won't move as she wants them to. Feeling the fear from seeing the faces of the two, faces painted with tight black lines, round eyes, down cheeks, magic made on the skin, and she knows it must be killing magic. This is the magic that makes them powerful and strong and fast and feared. In the moment too, she saw the ways their fingers, small, short, knuckle cut fingers, and yet they hold their spears with strong hands, more killing magic, the mark of the hands. She hears them closing, and though her legs are strong, she's growling tired, yet there is no choice other than to run and live or stop and die. Then there, as she runs there on the high forest, As she runs, she sees the shelf down, which she came up there on the high forest shelf. Clinching to the cliff is the buzzing body of the lion and something in the grass beside it. Her bow, maybe an arrow or more than one. Okay, we're gonna stop right here on chapter 60. Timer just went off. But that was a good read. I'm not gonna lie, that's the longest I read in my life. I'm not gonna cap, but yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And yeah, day 3, I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. I think tomorrow is 40 minutes, so we're going up 10 every time. But come on.